thanks for joining me today. We're going to be taking a look at the new for spring summer 2019 Tokyo collection from OPI. This collection is filled with 12 new saturated creams and shimmer polishes, and I really love the color story, you guys. Spoiler, I'll tell you right up front, I did really like this collection. To be fair, there are a lot of pinks in this collection, which we will get into, but I am a fan of how this color story plays out. For me, when I look at these colors together, they have a very futuristic feel. They're all kind of these bright, but still subdued, saturated spring colors that almost feel like watercolored down. It's just a really lovely combination. So I was a fan of this collection. Of course, as I suspected, everything has a fantastic formula. 2 coaters all around. We have a few 1 coaters. The official launch date for this collection is February 1st, but I know that you can start getting these for pre-order from places like polishpick.com. That's one of my favorite places that I always recommend to you guys because I've only ever had positive experiences with them. I'm going to list PolishPick down in the description bar below if you'd like a quick link over to a website that I like. They do have them available there for pre-sale. They are $5.50 a bottle, and they're gonna begin shipping on January 1st. Going in alphabetical order means we get to start with this Dusty Rose shade. That's what OPI is calling this. I feel like that is a pretty fair description. It's called Another Ramen-tic Evening. Actually looked pretty bright on the nails because there are about 4 or 5 pinks in here that are all variations of the same color, just going in spectrum from light to dark. And this one is the lightest one, and it is pretty bright. It's really lovely, you guys, if you don't have a shade like this. OPI does their pinks and reds very, very well. So this has a gorgeous 2-coat formula, applies super easy, as we know OPI to do. So Another Ramen-tic Evening, and I'm going to show you, of course, a comparison right next to the other polish that does look like this in the collection, and a few other things that I have found that were pretty similar. So this was 2 coats for my live application and 2 coats for my photo as well. The next polish in the collection alphabetically is the one that I've been wearing in this video, and this is basically like a hot pink, iridescent Barbie Pink shade is what I think of when I look at this polish. It's gorgeously iridescent. It has a bright, almost like blue pink, and then on the edges of the bottle I see some gold. If you like pinks, you're really gonna love this shade. Again, that's if you don't already have a few things like this, because this is a color that we've seen around quite a bit. But for this collection, it makes a lot of sense because it's just an ultra hot glowing pink look. It almost reminds me of like plastic fashion. That's what I think of when I look at this on my nails. So this is really fun. All Your Dreams in Vending Machines. Did I even tell you what it's called? Isn't that a fun name? The next polish in the collection is called Arigato from Tokyo. This polish, I loved it way more on the nail than I did in the bottle, because in the bottle I was comparing it directly to the fact that there were so many light pinks in the collection. I felt like this was just a darker version of that light pink, which it kind of is, but it's more purpley. On the nail it feels more purple. So OPI describes this as an orchid, and it's very beautiful. Like I said, you guys, it goes on so effortlessly. 2 coats for my live application and for my photo. And I feel like this collection did an okay job. Half of the collection is more wearable, like salon friendly shades, and then a full other half of the collection I feel like are shades for the more adventurous polish lover like you and I. So that made me happy. Anyway, this is Arigato from Tokyo. Next up we have Chopsticks and Stones, and this is a very deep cobalt blue. This is shimmery. It's more of a shimmer than a luster because you can see all the little bits of shimmer. I really, really like this shade. It's ultra deep, but those sparkling shimmers just kind of really brighten the polish up and make it feel like it's glowing a little bit. This is definitely a punch of drama in the collection. And like I was talking about with that last polish, this is definitely something that they created more for polish fans, I feel like, than the average consumer in a nail salon. So I always appreciate colors like this. I will show you any comparisons I have with other polishes that might be kind of similar. So I really did like this one as well. The next polish in the collection was one of my favorites because it's this beautiful light kind of washed out wasabi shade, and it's great in 2 coats. So I was really thrilled that this one had a very robust formula for such a light polish, so it's not going to cause anybody any problems. This polish is called How Does Your Zen Garden Grow? And like I said, 2 coats, you're good to go. My photo is going to be 2 coats after I swatch this for you. OPI has done a few light greens in the past, but I really did like this in here. It definitely needed like a really bright, shocking, different shade. Again, this is not something that they created for the salons, in my opinion. This is a really, really fun color. And when you combine this shade with a bunch of the different colors in the collection, especially these 4 we're going to talk about right now. These 4 here paired together, these middle 4, are my favorites, and I think they make such a fun manicure when you want to play with a bunch of different colors. Next up, we have Hurry-juku Get This Color, and this is just described as a berry from OPI. This one is the absolute like showstopper of perfection in formula. This one is so easy, goes on so nicely. It looks like you're wearing 3 coats if you're just wearing 1 with some top coat. It just looks very rich and deep. Gorgeous color. When I have this on, this kind of shade just makes me so happy. So I was quite a fan. Yes, I've seen things like this before, but some of you who are tuning in for this video have just started your polish collecting like this year, maybe last year. Maybe you don't have a bunch of really great ride or die kind of berry shades. So maybe this is something you were really looking for, and I think they did a good job. So this is Hurry-juku Get This Color. Next up, we have one of 2 green, like tealy green blue shades in the collection. They're both creams. They both have almost the exact formula, and one is just slightly more blue than the other. I love them both. So this first one is I'm on a Sushi Roll, and this is the more green version, and OPI just simply describes this as a teal. This is really pretty. Like I said, the formula is great. It goes on so great in 2 coats. These, like I said, they're kind of like watercolor, slightly washed out versions of a teal. Like this is definitely teal, but it has a lot of white in it. So it's bringing this slightly washed out feel, and I really, really like it. Another favorite for me out of the collection is this light, again, dusty or washed out version of a periwinkle. OPI even describes this as a periwinkle blue and gray. So basically, it's a grayed out periwinkle, which, as you know, is one of my favorite kind of colors ever because I love gray, I love blue, smash them together. And it's not just blue, there's a little bit of purple in here, and I love it so much. So this is Kanpai OPI. I apologize if I'm saying these horrifically wrong. I'm sure I am. I love this one so much. So this has a great 2-coat formula. It's pretty similar to that green where you definitely need the 2 coats, but it builds up really nicely, and it's just such a fun shade. And like I said, these 4 in the middle are really, really awesome. Probably my favorites out of the collection. As for the last 4 in the collection, we have what I think looks like just another dusty rose. OPI calls this a mauve. It's incredibly similar to the first polish that we talked about, so I don't think you need both of them, if you need any of them, because we all have a lot of dusty roses at this point. This one's called Rice Baby. What it does have is a perfect formula. This gets so nice, saturated, opaque in 2 coats. It's really, really easy. I love this one, even though it's a color that I've seen many, many, many times by now. I think it's a great staple in this collection, and this is one that they created. You know, it's for the salon. It's something thousands of women are going to choose when they go to the salon, and their favorite salon has this new Tokyo collection out. They're all going to want to wear this one because it's beautiful, it is flattering, and it's very wearable shade. Next up, we have this beautiful kind of murky, plummy, iridescent. It's kind of like a dark lilac plum base, but it's like murked out somehow, and it's really cool. At first, I thought I didn't like it at first, and then I was wearing it, and I kept looking down at my hands being like, I really do like that. There's some subtlety of these bright sparks of like a pinky fuchsia in there too that add a little bit more dimension to this polish. This is called Samurai Breaks a Nail, and it's very like a bright glowing vibe. I did like it. It's not my absolute fave, but I did enjoy this. So this is Samurai Breaks a Nail. 2 to 3 coats depending on how long your nails are. You might end up needing 3. As I turned my fingers, I thought, oh, I can still see a little bit of nail line. So it's up to you for your application. Okay, so next up we have the other tealy green shade. This one is the more blue version when you hold them side by side, and OPI describes this as an emerald. So, you know, Anyway, this is Susie Sun Climbs Fuji-san, I think. I'm not sure. It's a cute name. It's a beautiful formula. This applies just like the other blue-green. Again, if you aren't crazy about teals, you don't need both. Just pick one that you like better than the other. But I think that they're both really, really great. So, Susie Sun Climbs Fuji-san. Did they need to create two that are so similar in the same collection? They probably made a giant vat of this and then they decided to add just a little bit more yellow. And then they had a whole separate polish. But that's kind of how you make sure your collection all really vibes together, is if they're all tonally similar. That's one way to do it. Okay, so that was the second to last. The very last is this awesome, bright, almost neon, orangey coral shade, which OPI simply describes as an orange shade, but it's more than that. It's not just orange. It has a little splash of coolness in it. It's feeling a little bit coral to me, and it's very bright, you guys. This one's called Tempura-ture is rising. Tempura-ture is rising, exclamation point. This one's fun. I'm really glad they put this in here. This polish definitely is one of the high points in the collection when you look at it. This and the light green just kind of pop out to you, but it does go really, really well with the rest of the colors as well. I feel like they're mostly washes of blues, purples, pinks, and then you have like this bright orange, the bright green, and then that really dark blue to kind of balance things out with loudness. Does that ever balance anything out? I don't know. Anyway, I really like this. This, of course, has a fantastic formula. For a whole, you guys, I did like this collection quite a bit. I really did enjoy that it had this watercolor, washed out feel, that they didn't do another collection of just all of these primary shades. It's like they took primary shades and then they put like a otherworldly filter on it. I think it's really fun playing around with them this week. I really was loving each one. Again, like I said, this collection has too many pinks for me personally, but I know there are many of you who love pink polish. It's just totally your jam. You can rest assured knowing that whichever of these colors you pick up, the formula is fantastic. So you're gonna have a good time working with these. Could they have been more creative? Sure, they definitely could, especially in this world of indie polish where we just see explosions of creativity on the nail. But I don't think that that's OPI's thing. So if you're still in the mood for some really great mainstream formula, I did think this collection was lovely. So if you'd like to get them for $5.50 a bottle, they are on pre-sale at polishpick.com. Again, I will link that in the description bar below. It's not an affiliate link. It's just there for you to get to the website. That's going to be it for today, you guys. Thanks for joining me for this video. I appreciate your time. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see live application of any collection that I can get my hands on, that's what we do here. So I'll see you back for the next one very soon. Take care until then. Bye!